September 12, 2025, the sun rises over Subic Bay, illuminating a sight unseen for decades, a U.S. Navy destroyer leading a flotilla into the harbor. Local fishermen pause, watching as these modern warships glide past, signaling more than just a routine visit. The American presence is back, marking a pivotal shift in the South China Sea's balance of power. Onlookers gather, some recalling the old days of U.S. naval might, others witnessing history for the first time. The ship's arrival is understated but unmistakable, a message to the region and beyond. As mooring lines are secured, a new era of U.S. Philippine military cooperation begins, aimed at countering rising threats. This is not just about ships, it's about renewed commitment and a strategic realignment. The American flag flies once more in Subic Bay, a clear signal to Beijing and the world. Subic Bay is again at the heart of America's Indo-Pacific strategy. Subic Bay is a military strategist's dream, deep, sheltered, and perfectly positioned on Luzon's western coast. Its proximity to the South China Sea and flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal makes it a vital forward base. With U.S. and Philippine forces stationed here, response times to regional crises are slashed, and deterrence is strengthened. The bay's legacy infrastructure, once neglected, is being revitalized for modern operations. The U.S. Navy is investing in upgrades, including a climate-controlled logistics hub set to open in 2026. This will allow pre-positioning of critical supplies, reducing reliance on long Pacific supply lines. Subic Bay is now a cornerstone of America's integrated deterrence strategy, linking forces from Japan to Australia. Its revival enables wider force distribution, making U.S. assets more agile and less vulnerable. The move is classic strategy, reclaiming a key position on the global chessboard. Subic's return is about more than geography, it's about building a resilient network of alliances. The bay's transformation is a signal, the U.S. is here to stay, and the region's security architecture is evolving. Subic Bay is once again a critical node in the Indo-Pacific. The stakes have never been higher. The U.S. return brings cutting-edge military tech to the Philippines' front lines. During Balikatan 2025, the Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, NMESIS, made its regional debut. This mobile missile launcher allows Marines to strike hostile ships from hidden island positions, reshaping deterrence. The Marine Air Defense Integrated System, or MADIS, also arrived, countering drones and low-flying threats with advanced weaponry. These systems were tested in joint drills, supporting Philippine coastal defense and building real interoperability. Balikatan now involves thousands of U.S. and Filipino troops, practicing everything from ship sinking to joint patrols. Beyond firepower, exercises like Sama-Sama focus on logistics, replenishing ships at sea and sustaining long-term operations. Training with allies like Australia and Japan, the U.S. and Philippines are forging a multilateral coalition. The goal, a force ready to respond collectively to any regional challenge. These drills are about more than hardware. They're about trust, readiness, and shared resolve. The alliance is stronger than ever. Subic Bay's story with the U.S. began in 1901, evolving into a Pacific stronghold through 2 world wars and the Cold War. It became the largest overseas U.S. base, supporting operations in Korea and Vietnam, and fueling local economies. In 1991, Filipino nationalism and Mount Pinatubo's eruption ended nearly a century of American presence. The base was handed over, transforming into a free port zone, but its strategic value never faded. As China's ambitions grew, U.S. naval visits resumed in 2012, rekindling cooperation. Today's return is not a repeat of the past, but a new chapter built on shared history and new challenges. Subic's legacy is one of adaptation, shaped by war, peace, and shifting alliances. The bay's importance endures, now reimagined for 21st century security. The partnership has evolved, but the logic remains. Subic is key to regional stability. The U.S. and Philippines are writing a new story, one of resilience and renewed purpose. The lessons of history guide today's strategy. Subic Bay stands ready for what comes next. The past informs the future. The U.S. return to Subic Bay is a joint decision, rooted in a revitalized partnership with the Philippines. President Marcos Jr.'s $35 billion modernization plan centers on rebuilding naval power and reopening Subic as a primary base. The U.S. works within the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, supporting Manila's ambitions with training, equipment, and funding. This approach empowers the Philippines to lead its own defense, backed by American capabilities. U.S. Marine littoral regiments now train alongside Filipino forces, developing robust coastal defense strategies. The alliance is built on shared threats, China's gray zone tactics and direct confrontations in the South China Sea. For Manila, the partnership is about survival and sovereignty. For Washington, it's about defending an ally and the rules-based order. The result, a stronger, more equal alliance, ready for today's challenges. The U.S. Philippine bond is more vital than ever. Together they stand firm against intimidation. The alliance is built to last. Beijing views the U.S. Philippine military buildup as a direct threat, not a defensive move. China accuses the U.S. of stoking Cold War tensions and warns Manila against entanglement. With U.S. missile systems now within striking distance, China's anti-access strategy is under pressure. In response, China has ramped up naval patrols and aggressive actions in disputed waters. Confrontations are more frequent and dangerous, raising the risk of miscalculation. The South China Sea is now a flashpoint, with both sides escalating their military postures. The region faces a classic security dilemma. Each side's defense is seen as a threat by the other. Diplomacy is urgently needed to prevent conflict. The stakes are high and the world is watching. The U.S. return to Subic Bay marks a seismic shift in Indo-Pacific security. It reassures allies and signals a powerful coalition to counterbalance China's rise. For some nations, the choice between Washington and Beijing is becoming unavoidable. The risk of U.S.-China confrontation is higher than ever, with advanced weapons now close to contested waters. Managing this risk demands open communication, something in short supply. The region's stability and the global economy depend on it. The U.S. is back because the strategic landscape has changed. This is a defensive move, but one that raises the stakes for all. The future hinges on whether this new balance brings stability or sparks conflict. For now, Subic Bay's ships stand as silent sentinels in a high-stakes game.